How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and welcome back to another mission of Stronghold HD. Today, I'm on mission number 18, End of the Pig.
The people of the next county are at the end of their tether with the pig's oppressive taxes and are ready to rise up against it. The time to avenge Lord Woolsack's death is upon us. If you win this battle, then the tide will truly have begun to turn.
You have been charged to overthrow the pig's final county by laying siege to his stronghold. You have besieged this castle before, but it has since been rebuilt and now has a full garrison, so will prove to be a far greater challenge. Our simple but direct approach last time with the battering ram may not now be enough. Build some siege towers to scale his tall walls.
Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to pause the game here and slow it down a bit, and then I'm going to move these spearmen right here away from the castle, because otherwise the pig's crossbowmen in his towers can shoot at them and they'll kill them. So what we have to deal with first here is there's going to be a group of macemen coming out of the pig's castle to attempt to remove my siege equipment, the ram and the siege tower. There you can see the castle. It's the same castle, except it's more fully fortified. So here we have a couple of the initial macemen coming out of the castle, emerging, and largely they're going to be going after the siege towers. That seems to be their primary target in these excursions. So largely, and by the way, I think I should just point out that I am doing post commentary on this one, because this is another one of those missions where I felt that I was concentrating a little bit too much on the actual gameplay while I was doing it to say anything insightful about it. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to select 183. Oh wait, no, I'm reselecting them again. 125 spearmen, and I'm going to send them at the southern wall of the castle there for the pig. And the idea here is that they will trip the pitch ditches that the pig has placed. You can tell where the pitch ditches are because the ground is a bit browner. It's not as green. So there's a lot of pitch buried here, and I'm sacrificing those spearmen in an attempt to clear that out for my troops, that are, especially my macemen, that are going to go along there later. The macemen that are coming out of the castle are meeting some fair resistance, obviously, as you can see right over there. They haven't caused much trouble yet. My macemen are protecting the siege equipment, or my siege equipment, and my archers and crossbows are firing at the pig's macemen. So I'm going to select 83 additional spearmen here and also send them at the southern wall of the castle. The idea here is essentially the same. It's just that I was not able to actually clear out all of the pitch that had been laid down by the pig in the previous attack. My troops were too few. And by and large, it's essential to do this in two waves, because the amount of fire that you will encounter makes it less productive to just take, to do it in one wave. It's much more beneficial. You'll save more troops if you do it in two waves. So now that the pitch is out of the way, we can actually start sending in some macemen to dig up the moat. And I also want to point out that this area of the moat, there is no killing pits around it. There are no killing pits around this front part of the castle. That includes both the north side and the south side, about halfway to the bluff, and then also the front of the castle. So that is the obvious way to approach it. You can see right there are a couple of used killing pits, and it is towards the western side of the castle. So you want to stay away from the western moats. The most western moats, that's where a lot of killing pits are, and you'll lose a lot of troops there. So there are killing pits there as well as pitch ditches. So what I'm going to be doing here is sending these macemen in to dig up the moat. I think it was about 50 macemen. I've tried more and it has worked out worse, so I would definitely recommend going with somewhere between 50 and 75 macemen to dig this part of the moat up. And a lot of the challenge here is actually going to just be keeping the macemen focused on the task at hand. What they tend to do is they tend to wander. You'll see this a lot when it comes to troops digging up moats. The one area of the moat they really don't want to dig is the one where you tell them to dig it. I have no idea what it is, but we've seen the pathfinding in Stronghold is not the best. I've commented on this before. I've observed it before. So that's essentially what's going on here with the Macemen, and it's regrettable that you have to do something as micro as this to get them to actually dig an area of the moat, but it is getting done. I just continually reselect the Macemen that are wandering away and refocus them on the moat, and eventually we are going to get through it. I would recommend playing it on a lower speed because the Macemen are a little bit faster than you might think, and if you have slower reaction times, somewhat like I do, you will most likely lose control of them when they break off and go in two directions. I am playing it faster than I did with the missions, I think it was 3 episodes ago when we first sieged the Pig's Castle. I was playing it on 10 speed pretty much the entire mission, and I think that was a little bit slow overall. So I think this is speed 20, speed 30. It's a little bit faster. So we only have 12 Macemen left, and that attack is about over. So what I'm going to do is grab the remaining Macemen here, and we're going to be sending them in once the moat is dug up. But first, I'm also going to have to grab, I'm going to speed the game up here as well, and then grab the battering ram. So we're going to use the battering ram to clear the first wall. And then once that wall is down, we'll be able to send the siege tower in. And I should make a note of this. I once again used, or pretty much directly copied, Lord Baldur's strategy for attacking this castle. So all credit for this attack goes to him, but I'm actually doing this. You'll notice that the mangonel in the Pig's Tower only actually starts firing once the siege equipment gets within range. I found this rather interesting because, as you might recall, I had previously sent in a wave of a lot of spearmen, as well as 2 waves of spearmen and a wave of macemen, and we never saw the mangonel in that tower fire once, but that changed once I started bringing up the siege equipment. So the battering ram is currently knocking a hole in the wall, and it appears we have gotten through, yes indeed. And we're going to be targeting the tower at the nearest wall right there to get us onto the inner part of the castle. If the siege tower does not want to target that part of the wall, simply keep moving the cursor around until it eventually turns red. It will happen. So I'm sending my macemen, I should say, up through that tower and onto the walls there. It's a really quick dash then, and as you can see, it keeps us out of the ground area of the Pig's Castle, where he has a lot of pitch hidden. So I want to maintain my stance on the walls. I want to keep my units, my macemen, on the walls. And I have 82 macemen at the moment, so even though they're taking a fair bit of fire, there is still plenty of them to actually get the job done, as the Lord himself is fairly weak. So the requirement of this mission was simply to kill the pig. We do not have to remove all of the troops in his castle, so that is why we made a beeline for the pig's keep. And there you have it, pretty much. I did not end up using my archers and crossbows because they would have only been mowed down, and that would have resulted in me getting a lower score overall. Mown down, I should say. So 17,300. I did better previously only because I kind of exploited a hole in the game, a flaw in the game. So that is not something that you would normally expect.
With the pig slain, only the wolf stands in your way on the path to victory. Soon after the dusts of battle have settled, you receive word that Sir Longarm, along with the king, have marched in to claim another county, tightening the noose around the wolf's neck.
And we take over another 3 counties here. So as you can see, progressing along quite nicely. Anyway, thank you very much for watching as always, and I hope to see you next time.